Hey cuties, I'm Lanikia and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is the Young and the Restless edition. All right, guys, let's get right into it. Today is Wednesday, October the 12th, 2022. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to have to give this one an 8. It was really solid to me. I loved everything about this episode. It had my favorite people on there, most of my favorite people on there. So let's get into it. We start off with Mariah, Tessa, and Noah. And listen, if they don't tell Tessa to get out of that baby voice, I am sick of it. Um, so they show up and they apologize to Noah because they missed his opening, but they were busy at work. And she was like, we got you again. No, I can't even do it. I can't do baby voice because I'm deep. My voice is deep and I'm loud, so I can't do. Maybe that's why I don't like her because I'm jealous of she can able to do baby voice. But they miss his opening, so they're apologizing, and he just like, oh, yeah, okay. And they're like, what's going on? Why, like, you didn't come back with a sarcastic reply or anything? And he says, oh, my ex from London came through, and she about to cause some problems. And they say, what problems? Because Mariah's like, I'll handle this now. What we not gonna do is have any problems because you got Allie. And she said, now if this was Noah all sad and lonely, I would be concerned. She said, but you got Allie and Allie makes you happy. So the only problem is your ex trying to get back with you, or she has the problem, not you two. And Tessa is just like, come on, Mariah, just chill out. And Mariah said, like his ex needs to know that he is spoken for now, and she needs to move on around with that. And but he just tells them everything's gonna be fine because at first he tried to act like Audra wasn't gonna be a problem. Then he said, well, I mean, she's gonna be a problem. I'm just gonna ignore it or whatever. And that's why Mariah was like, let me handle it. But he told her no. So then we go to Crimson Lights. Now Allie is sitting there enjoying her tea or coffee or whatever she's drinking, and Audra comes up. Now Allie and Audra are both gorgeous, and so you could obviously tell Noah has a type. He loves a dark-haired woman, especially when you take in. Okay, but anyways, let's move on. So she comes up and Allie is enjoying herself, and here comes Audra. Baby, this was my scene because Allie said, "Listen, don't try me. Do not try me." And I was like, I'm here for it, Allie. I am here for this because she has stood up to Phyllis. She stood up to Diane. She stood up to Ashley. She loves Tracy, but she even let Tracy know I'm no pushover. I mean, she wasn't standing up to Tracy, but she was just letting Tracy know I'm no pushover. So nobody just gonna like it just because I'm quiet and I don't say too much and I mind my business and I try to be a nice person. I'm a sweet young lady. That doesn't mean that you gonna walk all over me. I'm not your doormat. And Audra learned today exactly who Allie was because she come up there talking about, I'm so happy that Noah found someone. Your relationship is so adorable. I mean, I knew him back in the day, and when I knew him, he would get into these dark moods. And Allie said, well, he doesn't have that with me. I don't know that man you speak of, because the man I know is loving. He's lighthearted. We have a great time together. And she says, well, it looks like y'all don't get to spend much time together. I just left him and I see that you're here. And she said, actually, we spend lunch together on our breaks because, we can't stand being apart. I said, oh, come on, Allie, you better get it together. And she said, so, it's all good over here. And so when Audra was just going down memory lane in London and everything, Allie just called a spade a spade. Listen, I see what you're doing. I said, yes, I love someone who is direct. Like Audra trying to beat around the bush, be nasty, nice. And Allie said, I'm not for that. I'm going to tell you what it is. And that's just it. She said, I see right through you. And Audra said, I don't understand what you mean. Yes, you do. I'm about to paraphrase this. She said, yes, you do. You understand exactly what you're doing. And I know exactly what you're doing as well. I see right through you. That whole thing you try to do, reminisce about Noah and, oh, our relationship was this and that. That's cute. But what we have is real. And he's happy now. And you know what? As a matter of fact, I'm glad you broke his heart or whatever y'all did over there, because it did what? It sent him right on back to Genoa City and right on back to me. So I should be thanking you. I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Not Allie learning. No, not learning, but not Allie knowing how to read somebody down. She said, I should be thanking you for sending him, because now I get this wonderful man. And, and she says, oh, is he not creative anymore? And that's why he doesn't have his dark moves. This is Audra. And she says, oh no, he's very creative. And if you don't see what he's doing at the club as being creative, maybe that's why you not together still. And Audra was looking at Alice. She was like, exactly. You thought you was gonna get to walk all over her, that Allie was just gonna be this sheep, but Allie said, I am a sheep. I'm a wolf in sheep's clothing, baby. You're not gonna just walk all over me and disrespect my relationship. What you had with Noah, that's in the past. I'm his future. And then Audra talking about, well, what we had was electric, and I'm not surprised it burnt out, but I don't see that happening with you. And Allie just looked at her, and I said, you don't got to say nothing else, Allie. Let her feel like she got that one, because at the end of the day, you got the man. Because that's what this is all about. She wants you to be insecure. And Allie says, I'm not that girl. I'm not that insecure. I believe she is a little bit. I believe she's going to be a little bit. But for right now, I'm Team Allie. I'm with you, girl. So let's move on. So then we see Allie goes over to Noah's, and she said, and she hears them talking. She said, oh, y'all talking about Audra? I just had a run-in with her. And they were like, oh. And Noah was like, and Mariah was like, see, this is where she at. Just point me in her direction. I'm going to take care of it. And Allie said, Mariah, you're so sweet, and I do appreciate you doing that, but I don't need nobody to stand up for me. And they looked at Allie like, what? And she told Noah, I know what she was trying to do, trying to be all nasty, nice to me, trying to belittle, like, oh, you're so adorable. Oh, it's so cute, and doing all that kind of stuff. She said, but I had to let her know, I'm not insecure, ma'am. I got him. You don't. You lost him. And Noah said, have I told you how much I love how bad girl you are? And she said, not lately or whatever. And then they kiss away. And Mariah and Tessa was like, okay. I said, well, you better go and get your man, Allie. Dang, I spent 7 minutes on this. Baby, I enjoyed that segment. That's why I spent so long talking about it. Let's move on to Chelsea, who hold on just a minute. Look. I understand Chelsea going through some things. I understand it's been hard on her. I understand it. But let me tell you something. Chelsea needs professional help. And that's just all it is to it. Chelsea needs to go and get some professional help, because what she is doing, she does this sob story about, and everyone feels bad for her and they feel sorry for her, and she plays off of that, and then she hides her hands like, oh, but I didn't do that. So Billy is upset with her because he says, listen, you went and stalked Johnny, and what are you sitting in the park waiting on him? And she was like, what? No, it's just a nice day to be in the park. He said, no, that's not what Johnny said. And she said, no, I wasn't following him. I'm saying, Chelsea, that's a lie. You followed him right on from Crimson Lights to the park. You knew we know you followed him. We saw it. But I'm going to let her make it. He said, that's not how Johnny told it. He said you were bothering him. She said, no. And you were trying to force him to be a brother to Connor. And she said, no, that's not how it was. So now you're saying he lying. Chelsea, it is how it is. And Billy said, listen, I've been your number one supporter. I've tried to be understanding, but that's my son. That's Victoria's son. We are his parents. You are not. Leave him alone. We told him, and we made it clear to you that we would follow his direction. He don't want a relationship with you. And if he doesn't want a relationship with you, that's it on that. And so she tells Billy, you don't understand. 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 My pain is my pain, and you're not getting that. You haven't held someone in your inside of you for 9 months, birthed them, and had to let them go and everything. And Billy said, listen, I've been trying to be understanding, but you go too far and you've taken this too far. And what I heard, he didn't say it, but what I heard was, if you keep doing this, we're going to go to courts with this and we're going to take legal action against you. That's what I heard. I feel like that's what's going to happen with this. I don't know for sure. Y'all know I just watch the soaps and tell you what I think is going to happen and what happened for the day. But I feel like they're going to have a battle. It's going to be a battle royale. And Chelsea's going to lose this battle. Why? Johnny is old enough to say what he wants. That's why I don't understand why Chelsea keeps going on. And so she tells him, you think just like Adam that I'm crazy or something and I need help. And I said, well, mama, you do. You do. I don't understand what else you don't understand about that, because you're going off the deep end. And LaShanta, I know you love Chelsea, but Chelsea needs some help. She just needs some help. And Pam, I think you're right as well. If Chelsea would just get a job, if she would get something other than, if she would get some kind of other priority over just her children and all this time to think, maybe that would help her as well. I think you're absolutely right about that. So let's move on, guys. We see Esther and Billy, because after all that, they just ended there. They just let it go. We see Esther and Billy. He said, Esther, what you doing here? She said, I'm doing what you doing. I'm working. He said, oh, no, not you with the team. And she said, yeah, I'm the receptionist right now. And he was like, well, I'm glad to have you. So then Esther and Billy goes in and she tells Lily, Billy's here to see you for the meeting. And she's like, thank you, Esther. She said, I hope you don't mind. And they had her with her duster. She said, feather duster. She said, I dusted before everyone came in, because she came in super early. She like me when I used to be a receptionist. I like to get there early and just gather myself. So she said, I got here super early, and all that. And so she was like, yeah, okay, but you didn't have to do that, Esther. And she was like, no, it's old habits. I don't know why. It's a cute scene and I love it. So then we see Billy and Lily talk. Oh, and Lily working my nerves. I'm sorry. Before that, we actually see Devon and Lily talk, and he has reservations about going public. He feels like they should take a beat. He still wants to go public, I think, but he's like, I don't know about moving this IP up as fast as we have. But y'all know Lily, because she really the CEO. She said, it's fine. We're gonna get it moved up, and we've guarded ourselves so nobody could take over. I said, but you didn't guard yourself. Like, if the two of y'all should have. This is how I see it. Everyone whose family's getting shares, right? But what they didn't do, and what I feel like they should have done, was given Devon and Lily more shares, and probably Jill more shares. So even if someone bought up the shares and then the other people said, like Nate or Billy says, okay, I'm going to sell my shares. Even if they do that, then they still have safeguarded themselves to be a majority shareholder. But right now, as it is, people can buy up the shares, but Lily and Devon would still keep their seats. Being, if no one sells their shares, the fact that Nate is able to sell his shares and they're not considering how unhappy he's been, and maybe they shouldn't give that much shares where it would make that much of a difference, is something that I think they're overlooking. And that's why Lily, that's why I say if Devon had time, he would think of things like that. But Lily is rushing this because she's all this. She wants to prove herself as a businesswoman as well. And so, but he's like, I don't know about this, but she tells him everything's fine. He's like, all right. So then Billy and Lily talk, and yeah, I'm not gonna hold you long on this. It wasn't much. He just tells her, she just says, I'm surprised to see you here. He's like, Lily, I know you're upset because, don't I'm not happy, but I tried, and he did, Lily. This man really tried to stay with Chancellor Winters, but he's not happy. Let him go and be happy. And so she says, I understand. Have you thought about what you're gonna do? He just told you yesterday. I said, go back to the podcast, Billy, until you figure it out. He said, no, not yet. So then we see Nick and Victoria. I'm not gonna hold you long on these two. He just tells her, "Are you sure you want to go through this?" He said, "Because you don't want to battle with Tucker McCall, who feels like this company should have been his." And she says, um, "Catherine bequeathed this company to my dad. She wanted him to have it. She could have gave it to Tucker. She could have left something for Devon and Lily, but she didn't. She gave it to my father, and he hated selling it to Jill. He regretted selling that to Jill. So she feels like it's going back to its rightful place." I said, "All right, then, girls, that's how you want to spin it. All right." If Victor really wanted, he should. Okay, but let's move on. So then we see Elena and Nate are at his place, and she's talking to him, and he's trying to get her to come back home. He was like, "Let's just work this out. Let's make a deal that we leave work outside at the door. Whatever I'm doing in my work day, whatever you're doing in your work day, we leave it outside." He said, "Because when we worked together, it made sense when we were doing the same field. But since we don't now, and you don't like the moves that I make in business wise, let's just leave it outside." So there he's trying to work it out with her. And I said, "She not falling for this, Nate." And then Victoria brings her butt over. And I said, "Victoria." And he said, "Victoria, what are you doing here?" And she said, "I tried to call, but I couldn't reach you. Is this, maybe I should have called, like tried to reach you first before just coming over?" He said, "Yeah, maybe you should have, because it wasn't a good time." But Elena says, "That's all right. I'm about to go." He said, "No, Elena, we can finish this." And she said, "No, y'all have something to discuss. Go ahead and talk. I'm about to leave." And he tells her, "I'll call you later." And she says, "I'll see you later," or something of that nature. And she says, "I'll talk to you later." But you could tell she wasn't trying to really talk to him later, and she leaves. So then that leaves Nate and Victoria to talk. And when Nate and Victoria talk, she just lets him know, "I see the problems you're having with Elena. Do you want to back out of this?" And he says no. At the end of the day, he still wants to move forward, and he and Elena are working it out, and everything's going to be good. She just interrupted them working it out, but he thinks they came up with a solution. And then he tells Victoria, But I'm wondering, are you wanting to back out?" And she says, "No, she's not gonna back out, but she was just, she was thinking about it, and it's been weighing on her heavily, and so that was it." So then we see Victoria goes to Crimson Lights, and she sits down with Elena, and you could tell Elena wanted nothing to do with Victoria, but she tells Elena, "I know you're worried about Nate and the choices that he's making, but he's a businessman." And Elena said, "No, I'm worried because if you don't care about Nate like that, because if you did, then you would know what this is going to do to his family." And she said, and Victoria's like, "Nate is a businessman, and he's learning, and he's learned how to play the game." And Elena said, "See, that's what I'm talking about. You consider this a game." That's all I needed to hear. And she gets up and leaves Victoria sitting there. And so then Victoria goes to Nick, and he said, "Have you had second thoughts about it?" And she said, "No, we're going full speed ahead with the acquisition of Chancellor Winters." And Nick is just like, because he's like, "Victoria, we're going to have legal trouble, and then we're going to have Tucker McCall on us. I don't think this is what you want to do." Now, the spoilers say that Victoria is going to make a risky business move that's going to blow up in her face, and we'll see how this goes. So everyone meets at Lily's office, and they're ready to launch the IPO. I said, "Baby, when y'all said we're gonna launch it, move it up, I didn't know y'all meant like move it up the next few days." But anyways, they said we're gonna launch the IPO, and so they're getting ready to do it. And Elena shows up, and they said, "Elena, what's the matter?" Because they could tell she's visibly upset. And they said, "Whatever it is, you could talk to us. What's going on?" And she was about to tell, but she said, "I just need to talk to Nate." And they were like, "Go ahead." And so Elena tells Nate, "I got a job offer, I believe, in Baltimore." And y'all, I want to move to Baltimore so much. Like, I don't know what it is, but I want to move there. anyways, it's not about me. Let's move on to this. But she tells him, I got a job offer and I'm taking it because I don't like the man that you are. And I know he said, no, we were working out our problems. And Nate dang near about to cry. And she says, Nate, no. No, we were not. What that solution that you wanted, that would never work. So no, we were not working out our problems. You are who you are, and I don't want to be with the man that you've become, and I'm leaving you. And he says, no, let's just sleep on it tonight and then we'll talk about this. Because she said, I got a job offer and I know I'm going to get it. Her friend helped her with it. And she says, I can't sleep on it tonight. I'm leaving tonight. And he's like, Elena, please. And she said, no, Nate, I'm done. And baby, Elena walks away. And so then Nate goes in and he's visibly upset. And they're like, Nate, what's going on? And he said, can I speak to Lily and Devon in private? I know what y'all thinking. He about to tell them what he been doing. He not. He just gonna tell them that Elena left, and it's gonna make him be like, well, I have to go through with this now because I lost Elena because of this. That's what I feel. That's what I heard. I don't know about you guys, but don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you tomorrow for an all-new episode of What Happened on the Soaps, The Young and the Restless edition. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.